Welcome to the Dr. Wyatt Show, where developing a long-lasting, happy relationship is the status symbol to achieve, and following my 6 marriage steps is a path to help get you there. I'm your host, Dr. Wyatt Fisher, a licensed psychologist specializing in marriage counseling. The Dr. Wyatt Show is listener-supported, so to help keep it on the air so couples worldwide can receive hope for their marriage, please consider becoming a monthly supporter by going to patreon.com/Dr. Wyatt Show. As a reminder, you can call 720-307-7347 Monday through Thursday from 4:30 to 6 Mountain Standard Time. That's my new number that you can call for your marriage questions. And those question and answer times are going to become a part of the Dr. Wyatt Show. So free marriage advice is here. Please tell your family and friends about it. Again, it's 720-307-7347. Also, a new announcement. I am launching a recruitment campaign. I'm in the process of spreading my seminar, The Total Marriage Refresh, which a lot of you have attended. I'm in the process of spreading it to 20 new cities in the U.S., but I can't do it by myself. So I'm looking for men and women who are interested in leading the seminar for me. You would get trained, you would get paid, and you would get supervised. And so if that's interesting for you, if you have a passion for helping couples, and if you enjoy public speaking, please let me know. Go to my website, drwyattfisher.com, click on Relationship Coach Training, and then you'll see the sign-up form. It's free to go through the training, and you get paid to facilitate my conference. So, hope to hear from you. Today I'm going to talk about 4 ways to clear the air. As I'm sure you know, it's easy for things to go unspoken. Maybe you have some tension, some building resentment with your partner. Maybe you had a disagreement and a conflict and you never went back to it. All sorts of things can happen, but before long, you feel like there's a lot of things unspoken between you and your partner. And it feels awkward and it feels distant, and you start to detach, or maybe you get passive aggressive or you get snippy because you haven't cleared the air. It's amazing how powerful it is when we clear the air, when we talk through what we've been feeling, when we talk through what we've been thinking, and we do it in a constructive way. We have to regularly clear the air. Now, this doesn't mean you need to bring up every little complaint, every little negative thing you're feeling about your partner. You need to pick your battles. But it's such a pattern for couples to have this unspoken things going on between them, or unspoken events in their past that they never have talked about. And you need to clear the air. When you clear the air, all of a sudden you feel like a new person. You feel like the weight's off your shoulders. All of a sudden you feel closer with your partner, like you can actually connect and see them because you've cleared the air. So I'm going to go through 4 ways to clear the air. Number 1, you want to speak to the awkwardness. Bring it up. Bring it up to your partner. If you feel like there's things that you have not said that you need to say, or there's things you guys haven't discussed that need to be discussed, or maybe there's areas of resentment you haven't brought up, bring it up to your partner and just say something neutral like, hey, I feel like there's some things I need to talk about regarding certain topics. I need to clear the air. And they probably have topics themselves that they want to clear the air on. So you need to speak to the awkwardness, because that's what it is. When you haven't cleared the air, it makes you act a little different. It makes you pull back. It makes you talk less, or it makes you overtalk, or it makes you avoid certain topics. It creates awkwardness. You're not genuine or real or authentic anymore. So the first step is you want to speak to the awkwardness. Just call it out. And tell your partner, hey, I think we have some issues we need to talk through. That's speaking to the awkwardness. Number 2, you want to bring up the topics you both want to discuss. So maybe you have several, and maybe your partner has several. And maybe you need to spend some time consolidating. What are all the areas I feel like I want to talk through with you, but I haven't brought up? Maybe there's some sexual stuff I want to talk about. Maybe there's some stuff in our past that still hurts me that I still want to talk about. Maybe there's some stuff with our finances or with our parenting or with sharing power Whatever it is, make a list of the stuff you need to talk about to clear the air. And have your partner make a list of the stuff they want to talk about to clear the air. It feels good to consolidate that. So you have a list that you need and what they need to talk through. Number 3, you want to use the Reunite tool to talk through these topics. Unless the topic is something that was traumatic equally for both of you. You don't need to use the Reunite tool if it's not some type of criticism toward your partner. If it's not some kind of complaint. So you want to be very clear on this. And I see this with couples in my practice all the time. We'll start our session, and before long, one partner is criticizing the other partner. And lo and behold, that partner gets defensive, and then they have a conflict right there in front of my eyes. And so I've had to learn to become very proactive in session with couples, and I have to tell them right off the bat, hold up. Are you about ready to say anything negative about your partner? Because if you are, we have to use the Reunite tool. Because the Reunite tool keeps it emotionally safe. When you bring up a complaint or a criticism with the Reunite tool, it disarms your partner. It helps them feel validated. It helps them take off all the defensiveness so they can hear the complaint. And then they're going to respond in a way that helps you feel heard. And then it ends with action. So that's number 3. You have to use the Reunite tool if any of these things you need to talk about to clear the air involves a criticism or a complaint about your partner. Anything that's negative about them. A lot of partners I work with in my practice have the unrealistic expectation that they should be able to talk about complaints and criticisms toward their partner, and their partner should be able to empathize back. And they're surprised when their partner gets defensive. They have unrealistic expectations. Do not expect your partner to be able to respond constructively and with empathy if you're criticizing them or you're complaining about something they do that you don't like. It's not going to go well. And it's understandable that it doesn't, because they feel attacked and they're going to bring up all the reasons why they've gotten better, all the reasons why it's not their fault, and all the reasons why it's actually your fault. And those are the things that you're going to do if you use the Reunite tool. When you're the speaker, when you are the complainer with the Reunite tool, you start with how your partner's gotten better. And then you talk about their possible innocence. And then you talk about your contribution. And then you say your complaint. So because you do those pieces, how they've gotten better, how they might be innocent, how you may have contributed, they don't have to go there. Because that's what we do when we're getting defensive. We talk about our improvement, how it's not all our fault, and how it's actually your fault. So that's one of the powerful things with the Reunite tool is you do that for them. As the complainer, you speak to those areas first so that when your partner responds as the listener, they don't have to defend themselves because you've already acknowledged all those pieces to the puzzle. If you do not know the Reunite tool, I highly recommend you reading about it as a first step. You can just Google Reunite tool. And it'll come up. You'll see the article. And at the bottom of the article is a table. And that table includes all the steps for the complainer and all the steps for the listener and even phrasing you should use going through it. I highly recommend it. However, if you're going to use the Reunite tool, it can be very tough to follow when you're not trained on it yet. So if you want to get some thorough training on it, you have a couple options. One option is you can go to my website under Marriage Tools and you can purchase the tool, Reunite tool. It's $10 and then you can watch me demonstrating it over and over and over until you gain mastery. Another option is you can schedule an appointment with me and then I can train you as a couple on how to use it several times so then you gain competence to use it on your own. So don't be discouraged if you try the Reunite tool and it doesn't go well. It's tricky. It's not how we naturally talk, but it's very intentional. The way it's designed, every piece has a purpose. So when you're trying to clear the air, it doesn't mean you just start talking about all of these complaints with your partner. It's not going to go well. They're going to get defensive. What it means is you bring up these topics you want to talk about using the Reunite tool because that's going to keep it emotionally safe. Once you've gone through the Reunite tool, the last step of the listener is you make amends and you bring up ideas of what you could do different moving forward to right the wrong, to provide emotionally corrective experiences to your partner. And whatever you come up with during the amends process, you want to write those ideas down, because that becomes your cheat sheet. That becomes your list of action items that you want to work on and implement so that your partner knows you mean business, that you're really sincere, that you really care about this complaint or criticism they brought up, and that you're going to do something about it. One of the best ways to say sorry is changed behavior. But changing your behavior doesn't happen automatically, because we all drift back toward the same behavior. Think of changing your behavior like creating a new trail to hike on. Our tendency in our brain, biologically, we have all these neuronal pathways of our behavior that's entrenched. That's like a well-worn path in the woods. Therefore, to change your behavior in your marriage, you have to create new neuronal pathways in your brain. And that's like creating a new trail in the woods. And that's going to take time for that new trail to become the dominant trail. So that's not going to happen by accident. So you want to write down, when you're the listener and you get to making amends, all the ideas you're going to do to make some changes moving forward. Make sure you write those ideas down. And then you want to review those ideas on a regular basis so that you're putting some action where your words are and you're following through. That in and of itself is going to help your partner slowly forgive the pain from the past when they see you making changes. So those are 4 ways to clear the air. Number 1, speak to the awkwardness. Number 2, bring up the topics you both want to talk about. Number 3, read through the Reunite Tool article and bring up the chart so you're looking at the chart at the same time. Number 4, you want to write down your personal changes that you're going to work on moving forward based on what you came up with during making amends as the listener during the Reunite Tool. Thank you for listening to the Dr. Wyatt Show. If you enjoyed the episode today, be sure to click the 5 stars and leave a review. For more marriage resources, be sure to go to my website, drwyattfisher.com. If you're interested in co-leading and leading the Total Marriage Refresh Seminar, I need you. Please contact me. You can email me at info@drwyattfisher.com or go to my website, click on Relationship Coach Training, and sign up there. Remember, your marriage is alive, so if you care for it and nurture it, it will grow. But if you neglect it and deprive it, don't be surprised if it starts to wilt and die. The choice is up to you. Take care.